After the mega flop that was Snow White, many folks out there thought that Rachel Zegler's career could be at a stop. Well, folks, we're here to tell you that we have the data, we have the news. It is looking like Rachel Zegler's opportunities in Hollywood are officially on life support. Get ready, we'll tell you what's going on right now. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the channel that continues to change hearts and minds simply by telling the truth with a capital T. We're happy that you've come our way. And folks, as we get underway, consider clicking the like button. Also, if you would like to become a VIP member of thatparkplace.com, go on over to the website, get exclusive articles every day. Simply click on the VIP button, $5 a month. And folks, without further ado, here's what's going on with Rachel Zegler. All right, folks, take a look at this. Out of Cosmic Book News, the Zeglerator is back, baby. By Matt McGloin, Rachel Zegler's new project flops before it opens. Empty seats everywhere. Now, this could be a segment where we simply pick on the Snow White star who had the biggest mega flop of the year. But folks, we're going far, far beyond what would be the most base take we could have. And instead, we're going to tell you what the lesson is to be learned from this. Following Disney's Snow White absolutely bombifying at the box office, Rachel Zegler's next project looks like a big flopinator even before it opens. Zegler, who is only 23, is set to star as Eva Perón in Evita, a revival of the 1978 Andrew Lloyd Webber and Tim Rice musical, known for the iconic musical score, which includes Don't Cry for Me, Argentina. Directed by Jamie Lloyd, the show opens June 14th at the London and runs for 12 weeks. Well, it turns out that similar to Snow White, nobody is buying tickets. Oh, the poor winged victory. Ticket sales lagged for Rachel Zegler's Evita. In an article published by the Daily Mail titled, Rachel Zegler Keeps a Low Profile As Woke Snow White Disaster Worsens, it's pointed out that her play hasn't sold a lot of tickets. One glance at the ticketing website reveals just how few seats have sold for the ambitious production, opening in just 2 months. Poor Zegler. What do we find out? Well, hang on a second. Maybe we should read this. It says, this is from, by the way, it's from Rachel Zegler. It says, had to go support this absolute superstar last night in Sunset Boulevard musical where the most incredible theater is being performed 8 times a week, yada, yada, yada. You know what? When Zegler is nice, we like to be nice to Zegler. You know, we like to be nice to Zegler. So sure enough, checking the venue's website does show a lot of empty seats and no sellouts. June, July, August, and September are all awash in green good availability despite tickets starting at just 30 euros inside the 22, almost 2,300 seat venue. And it has a screenshot up here from the publication time of all of the empty availabilities that are there if you want to go watch Rachel Zegler. The play doesn't open for a couple months, but again, with only a couple of thousand seats and ticket prices so cheap, it's probably something to be concerned about. So here's what I would posit on this story. And, you know, we've watched as Snow White has been an absolute disaster. We know that Rachel Zegler contributed to it, although she was not the totality of it. We've also watched similar things happening with former Disney stars such as John Boyega, Kelly Marie Tran, who in their bitter resentment of how they were treated by Disney and by fans, they lash out. And I would say that for Zegler, there's an opportunity here to fix things. And the way that I would suggest that Zegler fixes things is that she does sort of a mea culpa and says, you know what? I've learned some things. I could have done some things better with the Snow White. Like, take some of this upon yourself. You don't have to grovel. You don't have to beg, but you screwed up. You were given a golden goose opportunity, and that golden goose is belly up. So what do? Well, you've got to do something to revive your career, and I would recommend a little dose of humility. Might be just a ticket to get people buying tickets once more. But Zegler's career now looking like it is seriously on life support. And Snow White was not the end of the fail. Apparently, poor Zegler might even struggle on Broadway and beyond. Panel, what say you? Can Zegler bring herself back? And what big mistakes from Snow White might have staying power in keeping her power low?
She has to be able to self-reflect in some way, and I just don't know if, as a product of Hollywood, really Broadway broadly, but Hollywood in general, I don't know if she has the ability right now at this point to self-reflect in the way that I think she needs to, because I think there could be some redemption here for Rachel Zegler if she had had the courage to pursue it. I just don't know if that's necessarily going to be the case. And as we learn from Kelly Marie Tran, some of these people, they I think they seek out stardom and publicity through their experiences, right? And then putting gas on that fire and so forth, and generating media headlines and getting out there. But I don't know. I think fans are kind of repulsed at that, and maybe that's what's that's also what's going on here as well.
The AF Post has this: Disney is halting the production of live-action remakes after the failure of Snow White at the box office. Apparently, Disney, after Lilo and Stitch, is pausing everything to reconsider stuff. Listen, if one young starlet can put you in that kind of position, if she is so powerful in terms of her awfulness that she's got Bob Iger rethinking the entire Disney strategy, geez Louise, lady, get out of there and say, whoops-a-daisy, I messed up.
I did track this down, and I don't know if I necessarily believe this reporting.
What do you got?
Well, I just, after doing a little bit of research on this post, because I was thinking, oh, well, hey, this is a story. I just wasn't confident in AF Post's reporting. Not to say that they're wrong. And I think they're definitely rethinking their strategy in general, right? Especially with like Tangled, for example. That's been in production, or I'm sorry, in development for quite some time. We got that confirmed a little bit before, actually, Snow White was released officially. And afterwards, I think Hollywood Reporter ran the story that they had put that movie on ice, maybe for the foreseeable future, who knows. And you would think that would have the most box office potential, especially from the new canon of Disney animated classics. But the fact that they're putting that on ice and everything like that, I think that would indicate, yes, they're slowing down that considerably, but actually saying no to it, again, Lilo and Stitch is coming out, and Lilo and Stitch proves to be very, very popular. I think we'll know what Disney's ultimate decision on that is. Also to Moana coming out as well. Go ahead, Culture.
Well, and that's the thing, right? It's the Tangled would be the one that would surprise everybody, because that's the most girl boss movie aside from Moana that you'd have out there of the live action remakes.
Fair point.
They could do Mulan again, Culture. Don't put it away for them. They might try another attempt at Mulan.
I'm so excited that we're going to get Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson live action, singing, dancing, and acting the fool that he is. But back to the Rachel Zegler conversation very quickly. There are actually people that are fans of Rachel Zegler. I was so surprised because I've been doing some research into the West End specifically, and the generation of interest that they've had over Rachel Zegler being Eva Perón. Well, apparently people are trying to avoid the dates that she's going to have off, because apparently every time she sets herself up for one of these Broadway style things, especially at the Palladium, she is going to be not featured on Monday, the 14th of July, Monday, the 28th of July, Monday, the 11th of August, and Monday, the 25th of August. There's also a chance that she won't be appearing on the Thursday matinees, because that seems to be something that she does. And if you've ever seen Evita, it is a challenging part to play. And I don't think she has the temerity, the stamina, you pick a word here, in order to pull it off going, every single day that the theater is open, because you always have.
Not everybody, Culture, is the workhorse that you are on YouTube. Not everybody.
I'm just saying. I mean, she's a little waifish to play Evita. She's also a little young to play Evita. So I guess we'll have to see. Reviews will be in, I imagine, here in midsummer. But like I said, there are dates that she will not be performing as usual with, young starlets or any starlet or anything.
Let me get Keri in on this conversation. Keri, one of the interesting things about how this is going to play out, I think, is they have to revivify her career some way. And at the same time, the way that this is viewed, I think, from the far left, and I think that Rachel Zegler probably could be identified with that, given her comments on the Middle East and all of that. I think that's a safe
maybe.
Just maybe. About
Keri, how does someone like Rachel Zegler, coming from that partisan place, how does she manage to bring herself back? Like, how can she show humility? What's allowed inside that mental space?
Well, how can she show humility? By becoming humble.
Well,
That's what happens. But no, what I mean is that's I don't think she's at that place. I don't know much about her. I didn't watch Snow White because I heard it was terrible, and also because I've heard so many awful things that the actress has said that just I felt like she's just very arrogant, kind of like a Greta Thunberg, very young but arrogant and
how dare you?
moral
How
high horse and
dare
trying to
you?
lecture people and insulting the original Snow White and doing this whole boss babe thing. So I wasn't interested in it. And as far as like how can she do that if she's in that leftist world, which I think she is, well, she can't.
Right.
You can't do that because they view it's very tribal. Like they have all these cult rules. You don't dare apologize to Trump voters or to conservatives or to the half the country that.
Right. So then how does she rehabilitate?
Here's the thing that I want to throw in here. She doesn't just have to rehabilitate herself with one aspect here. She's insulted the audience and pretty much every audience out there. Straight up Disney fans, she's insulted them. Anyone who has a opinion on what's going on in the Middle East, she's weighed in on that. She has offended half of the American voting population. Okay, so the audience is one thing, but then Disney themselves, there are records out there of Disney trying to stop her and then creating an odd legal situation for them. So I think it'll be a while before Disney, unless they have no sense whatsoever, says yes to anything that she does. So even if she goes to another studio, they won't put her in a film that has any budget attached to it because she has essentially, you cannot ignore the effect that she had on this film and the notoriety of this film. And then any PR firm out there that would be in charge of marketing the film, they would have a problem with her as well. So I think that she has so many angles at which she could apologize, but to go to what you've said, Keri, I don't think she can cede any ground without losing all of her credibility. She can't even walk it back slightly without losing to that mob because she's gone into that religious space.
Well, luckily she's going to continue to ingratiate herself with a fandom and a mob that is so small that it can't support her either at the box office nor in theaters. Now, speaking of rehabilitation, though, and rehabilitating a career, I'd like to bring on somebody who has at least gone through 17 rehabilitations. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Paul Chato.
Take a drink, Paul.
He's muted.
You're on. You're muted, yes.
Damn, I wrecked my opening joke. Hello, everyone.
Hold on. Wait a minute. We'll fix it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage, Paul Chato.
No.
Well, that was worth it. Totally worth it. Paul, what's she going to do? How's she going to make the wokies not come after her and at the same time save herself?
If you want, I can start huffing air duster.
Oh, don't be a noob. You go through the nostril. That's what the straw is for.
That's right. That's how the Egyptians pick out the brains of people. They stuck a straw up the nostril and then mashed it in and then sucked out their brains.
That's why you don't push the button all the way down. Don't push the button all the way down.
Oh,
Keri Smith, I'm a huge fan.
I was just going to say, you look so familiar. And I think it's because the other day I went to the grocery store and I watched a video of you. Did you do a video breaking down John Oliver?
Yes.
Yes, it was great. Okay. I'm a big fan of yours then. I enjoyed that video. It made me laugh.
I have watched you for many years.
This is so much better than the way it could have gone if they had both been on the stage and said, "Oh my gosh, it's that guy I hate. Oh no, it's that woman I hate."
I had to break down the John Oliver thing because as a comedian, I knew what tricks he was using, and also the fact that he used diversion. I mean, again, you use comedy to say something without actually addressing the point, and then you just sort of skip off. It's another form of othering.
I like it. You're basically, it struck me, you're like a comedian version of like the Forensic Files, but it's all about forensics of comedy. You're pausing it and you're telling us, here's what he did here. Like courtroom commentary, but comedy.
And I also want to say congratulations on getting the role of Dumbledore in the new Harry Potter film. Wait, that's the wrong one. I ruined my own bit.
Guys. Come on, guys.
We're all ruining our bits.
There we go.
Yes.
I'm just so happy. I'm telling you. Many people have said I look like John Lithgow.
That's the first time in my life I've heard a John Lithgow impression, and that was pretty good.
The first time, and I can do it because I just do an anus lips.
It's either Lithgow or Harry Carey. One of the two. One of the two.
People
All
used to say you look like a skinny version of Chevy Chase, which I liked. That was fine.
All right, Clark. Clark, tell us how Zegler can fix her career. Give us your hot take on that. Yeah, what's she going to do? What's you're her coach now?
It's a funny thing. It gets to a point in show business where people love a redemption story. So it will get to the point where if she's handled correctly, she can come back actually fairly successfully. It's just a question of whether she understands the opportunity and whether the management that she has knows how to set that up. So she has to disappear for a little bit, do small movies that nobody knows anything about. And they go, oh, look at that. You're using your celebrity to help these tiny independent movies. That's awfully nice of you to do that. And then again, the live stage stuff is a lot of actors have disappeared into live stage. In fact, there are a lot of actors that, you don't really hear much of anyone anyway at all. And what they're doing is, they're doing Broadway work, good work. Now, I'm not talking about Larry Berghoff going off and doing dinner theater in Mississauga. That's not what I'm talking about.
But you're saying she needs to go to Broadway. She needs to also
off Broadway.
Okay, off Broadway, go dig wells in Ethiopia and stay away from Katy Perry. These are the three things.
Yeah,
I'll throw one in there since Paul is here and made me think of it. She could grow a sense of humor suddenly.
Yes.
Well,
I'm not.
I think she's doing actually particularly well right now. If you look online, I mean, her appearances in some of these films has just been really, really good. I think she's really strong. Culture said that they're fans of Rachel Zegler. I am one of them. She's doing phenomenally. I don't know what the issue is.
I feel badly because Vash had that joke ready to go, and I put that up on the screen early without knowing what it was. And now Vash, we're down to about 2 panelists left who have not had their jokes ruined already in the first 35 minutes. Culture, I'm going to give you the final word on this.
Jokes. So that's it. That's I to me, redemption stories are available for pretty much anybody unless it's Bill Cosby.
Yeah. Culture, any chance that Zegler gets a redemption story?
No. I disagree with Paul. I think the world is done with redeeming people. I think that there are a lot of irredeemable people.
Oh my goodness, Culture. You're going
and
dark.
I never disagree with Paul. So this is a rare moment you're witnessing right now.
You serious, Clark?
Maybe the world does like redemption stories, but I think we're tired of the people who've become religious zealots and we think they're irredeemable. I'm not ever gonna like Rosie O'Donnell again. There's a list of people I'm done with forever. I don't even watch anything that she's tied to anymore, and yet I love the original A League of Her Own movie and many other things.
Don't get on Culture's bad side today.
Honestly, don't do it ever. But like,
no live action Flintstones for him.
I'm very forgiving. My faith requires it, but unfortunately now I'm a little. There's a little bit of dark and dim in me, and it's been hammered into me by Hollywood.
So I have a question. Okay, so I can't remember her name, but the woman who was the head of the lead of the Acolyte, who
Amanda Stenberg or Leslie Headland? Which one?
Who Amanda Stenberg? Stenberg. Who will be redeemed first between Rachel Zegler and Amanda Stenberg?
Zegler.
That's my bet.
Yep.
Yeah.
Amanda doesn't come across to me as having many redeeming
None.
qualities. Zegler can sing.
Sort of.
Fair point.
And yet again, folks, we have come to the end. But what a video it has been, and we hope you agree. Folks, if you had a good time with us, consider clicking that like button, share, subscribe, click it, stick it to the algorithms. It is the notification bell, and drop a comment right on down below. We care about your thoughts. Folks, we also want to invite you to partake in thatparkplace.com. Of course, www. You get the idea. Thatparkplace.com. It is the website telling the truth, and it is a rising star across the web for pop culture news coverage and analysis. Go over there and bookmark it today. Folks, we're bookmarking you as a great guest that we appreciate. Until the next time we have the honor of spending time with you, keep learning, keep growing, and as always, folks, you better believe it, keep having fun.
Hey, Floral, guess what?
You put a fork in Pro's microwave again.
No, that was yesterday.
I don't know that what.
Oh, I've decided to give up on torturing Jonas.
What? Why? In the same way the cat sleeps like 20 hours a day, that was like your purpose.
I know, but I've decided there's bigger fish to fry.
Okay.
Like Lorne. I mean, think about it. Everybody loves him. He's a fan favorite, and frankly, he has almost no weaknesses I can find. Except that he's really smart.
So, you want to annoy the one panelist without a single flaw, because he's smart.
Yeah, like that winged statue at that fancy Paris museum thingy. I want to break the one thing that everyone loves most.
Right. So, kind of like the opposite of Rachel Zegler.
Yeah, exactly. And I get to see her all the time at family reunions anyway.
You get to see Rachel Zegler?
Yeah. She's a total troll. Lives under a bridge, harasses billy goats, the whole 9 yards.
It all makes sense now.
Speaking of which, maybe she'll get me... Okay, I'm gonna call her on my... I'm gonna call her and see if she'll be in the next Indiana Jones. She should be the next Indiana Jones. That'll totally destroy Lord. He loves Indiana Jones.
Oh, that's cruel.
Hey, Rach. I've got a cool idea for you that involves a whip and snakes.
I love that description. It's perfect.
I know, right? Weird, as we always say.